Yeah, we're just going to have a bit of a car chat.
Just going to be 100% honest. Those of you that know me and that have met me know that there is zero filter on this.
Why is the Ocker breaking down? How we fund and make money on the road. Okay.
I'm ADHD. You can probably guess that.
Use your toenail to floss your teeth.
Genius, by the way.
Do not take any cleaning or hygiene advice from this guy.
Next question.
Next question. Would love to hear about your plans for education. That singlet is driving me crazy. Do you want me to buy you a new one? Did you get the air tank replaced?
Because we have to go.
Oh.
G'day guys.
Hello.
Welcome to our very first Q&A. We've never done one.
We've never done a Q&A. We've talked that we're going to do it, but it's very rare that we've got the time, and we figured, well, we're in the car, we're heading back to the East Coast for Christmas.
We are?
One's asleep, the other one's on an iPad. We had to bribe her to get some silence, so then that way we can talk directly to you and answer all these questions that have been flooding in.
Yes, so thank you very much for all the questions. We have a stack of them, so we're gonna get through as many as we can. We've got about 5 hours worth of driving today, and yeah, we're really looking forward to it, because like we said, we've been chatting about this for such a long time, and I know you guys have been asking for us to do a Q&A for a very long time as well.
And a lot of these questions we answer nearly on a daily, weekly basis to the likes of you that we run into on the road, so it'd be good for all of you to get these answers.
That's right.
I don't even know what a lot of the questions that have been asked.
Yeah,
I know
so
that Maxine's gone through all of it.
I've kind of like categorized and I've put them into an order so it flows a little bit better. And I guess the best way to answer questions is to not know what's coming. So that's why Carsten doesn't know what's coming. I know what's coming.
Look out, guys.
Yeah, we're just going to have a bit of a car chat.
We'll have a chat. It's just going to be 100% honest. Just all in. We're all in.
All in, all in.
Those of you that know me and that have met me know that there is zero filter on this. It can get me in trouble sometimes.
We're a bit of a yin and yang, and that's why it works. Like, we've been together since I was 16.
Is this a question?
No, I'm just a bit of an insight. Like,
oh, right.
Like to our life. We've been together for over 18 years. So, you know, I was 16. I was still in school. He'd finished school.
I was out of school. Not a predator, just, you know, whatever.
We met online.
Only 2 years difference, guys.
We met online on a thing called High Five, and we were chatting for about 12 months, and then it merged.
We're using MSN Messenger, typing away. That's
right, and then he was sending roses, and so romantic.
And she was the only girl I was doing that to as well, by the way.
Anyways, guys, let's get into it. If there's any questions that you know, we've missed that you really want us to touch on, we can always do that in another episode or in a Q&A down the track. So,
yeah, so throw them down below if there's any extra questions you have, and we can answer that on the next one.
All right, let's get into it. What made you and your beautiful family want to travel? Wow. It's quite a big question.
That's a massive answer, hey?
It's a good one to start with. What made us want to travel? Well, we were actually just talking about this just a couple of minutes ago. Time. For us, time is precious. None of us know how much time we've got, and we're not going to waste ours. So traveling is the way that we can all spend as much quality time together and have unreal experiences. It's
true, but it all started back in 2009, 2008, 2009. Maxine and myself, we did a backpackers, you know, trip around the world, which really got us a taste for travel then. But it was on that trip where we said, hey, let's travel Australia in a Combi. So we decided to buy a Combi, which some of you might have seen. I think we did a video when we were, it was like a now and then when we were up in Broome.
That's right.
That would have showed you, you would have seen the old brown Combi. So we travelled Australia in that for a year. And we were like full-blown backpackers, eating bread, drinking cask wine, like it was budjo.
It was powder milk
Oh, powdered milk, because the fridge hardly worked.
We had meat once every 2 weeks, and that was mince.
Yeah.
But I think what you're getting to is we live such a simple life on such a tight budget, and we were so happy. We were the happiest that we had ever been, and it ignited this fire in our belly for travel, and it was a feeling that we have chased ever since.
Yeah, it was like 10, 12 years of always referring back to that time of just how simple things were, and just how it was just like the I don't know, freedom, I guess. And I guess that's something, you know, you're always chasing, and especially after being in the working environment for so long, you're like, oh, do you remember those days? But let's be honest, like when you're 18, 19, 20, it's a bit different from when you know, pushing close to 40 with 2 kids, but you're still chasing that feeling.
That's right.
And yeah, we've got it now, which is great. We're able to achieve it.
But the question, going back to the question, the question was, what made us, sorry, what was the question? Let me just 2 seconds. The question was, what made you and your beautiful family want to travel? So the thing is, we started traveling with Zuri when she was a baby, and that all started during COVID. It started at 6 weeks, and then it ended up 6 months, and it kept getting longer, and we just saw how incredible life can be on the road, and also how quickly the kids grow up.
Yeah. In a nutshell, that's it.
Yeah.
We've realised how bloody precious time is. The only guarantees in life is that time goes quick, you can't predict the future, and you're going to die. So you might as well just go all in, enjoy now for what it is.
Do the things that you want to do now, guys. That's why we travel. We want to travel, so we're doing it now.
Next question.
Next question. The question is, how long is the trip actually? Well, we're full-time on the road now.
Oh yeah, now we actually haven't got a house. So we're... the trip, like, even if you, like, we're going home for Christmas, technically the trip's still going, because we're just in our
That's
truck,
right.
so.
We're very spontaneous, so
we don't know.
How long is the trip? We don't know.
Again, you can't predict the future.
I reckon the trip is as long as we're happy to do it, as long as we're still enjoying it. We are very spontaneous, we just go with the flow. So if we're enjoying it 5 years down the track, then
and the
we'll
kids,
still
as
be
long
here.
as all of our health and everything continues on the way it is, well then but you can't, like, you don't know what's coming up. So, you know, we can't say we're going to be doing this for 5 years, because we might not, we don't know. But at this point, we're going to keep going until we get over it.
There you go.
Fact.
Next question. Aha, this is funny.
What?
You've only just got your ocker.
Yeah.
Sorry. You've only just got your ock on the road.
Yeah.
Why are you going overseas already? Well, that's true. We got back a week ago.
Yes, I know, right?
So, guys,
Well, they wouldn't know that, but
well, if you follow us on social media,
if you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, you'll get pretty much like a daily update of what we're doing. So if you love our YouTubes, follow on Instagram and Facebook, and you'll get it even more up to date, and a lot of behind the scenes silly crap that goes on. But we really, since we did Cameron Corner and made our way down towards Seduna Way, we hit a road and we're like, holy crap, we've got to go east or west. Like, it's like a left or right. Which way do we go? And after a few things that went wrong with the truck, we thought, stuff it. Let's go back, let's go to Perth, drop the truck off. They can fix all the bits and pieces through warranty.
That's right.
That'll give us 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So we jumped on a plane within 12 hours. We had booked a flight to Thailand. We're over to Thailand and we were there. But it was, for us, we really needed it. It was a refresh.
That's right. It was a holiday from our holiday, and I think we did want to explain this. This was a really good question, like, why? You've obviously just worked so hard to get this truck. Why are you choosing to go overseas now?
Yeah.
We have been through a lot over the last 2 years. We've renovated a house, we've had a baby, we've built a truck. There's been lots going on, and it's been so fast-paced that we felt like, because the truck was getting work done to it, it was such a good opportunity for us to just have a refresh, like Karsten said, look after ourselves, get massages, go on a real holiday. Like, traveling,
well, like Maxine said, sorry Max, but like she said, it was go, 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 go.
Yeah.
But for those of you that don't know, I'm ADHD. You could probably guess that. ADD, ADHD, diagnosed since the age of 4, Ritalin, the whole shebang. I need projects. So you can imagine the last 2 years have been like, yeah, boom, 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 boom. And then, truck's done, stop. We hit the road. No plans, no projects, no direction. not gonna lie, my mental health was not great. I had anxiety, I don't know, I've never really been, that was pretty, I was in a pretty bad state. I was snappy at max. I didn't know where we were going or what we were doing. I knew that, you know, we're in the position that we've always wanted to be in, but why wasn't I as happy as I thought I'd be? But it was because we hadn't had time off to stop and think and really sort of prepare to slow down. Like my brain moves at a million miles an hour.
But also, when you're traveling as a family unit and like we're best mates, and we work so well together, you're doing everything together. From the moment you get up, you're either in a new destination, you're packing up, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're in a small space. It can get to a point, especially when it's hot, like there's not a lot of downtime. You're always on. So,
you know, working so hard on the truck and bits and pieces, and when small things go wrong, my brain can't just go, oh well, that went wrong, move on.
Yeah.
I hyper focus on that problem, and I can't go to sleep until I've worked out how to fix it. It's a good thing because we get things fixed, but it's a bad thing because I switch off to everything else. And sometimes I'm guilty of switching off to Max and the girls, and I just need to fix this problem. But that's where going overseas, stopping, relaxing, reflecting, and working out what's important and trying to talk through what's going on in my head, and we've come back completely different. And so that's why we went overseas. And it was like medicine. And
also, guys, we didn't film a YouTube when we were in Thailand for that reason. We wanted to switch off. We did a bit of social media. We did capture some really nice footage though, you know, with the girls getting on the plane and arriving in Thailand. We might even throw a little bit of that on.
I think this video is going to be so long. Okay. So sorry guys. Jump onto social media if you want to see it. There'll be something on there.
But you can cut that out anyway.
Next question.
Next question. What was the average amount to be set up to travel Australia? Was there limits? Hang on, let me finish. Was there limits? Also talk about how we fund and make money on the road. So let's start with the first question.
What was the first one? So
the first one was there any limits in terms of hitting the road financially? Dollar figure.
Oh, there's always limits. Your limit is how much money you've got, to be honest.
Every time we've hit the road, we have been in a different financial position.
Oh, have we ever?
We have made a lot of sacrifices to be in the position that we're in right now. So I think this is a good opportunity to quickly touch on that. So we spent years...
A lot of people wonder. A lot of people, we get this question, a lot of people don't want to ask it because it does sound quite intrusive, but we're open books, guys, so we're going to lay it out on the line and how it'll work. That's
right. So obviously we did our trip 2009
in the Combi,
and then we were like,
But up until that point, we were living week to week. Sorry, no, because I think they want to know about the financial sides of things.
Yes.
We were living week to week, paycheck to paycheck.
At some points in our life, but what I was going to say is how we got to that point was I went to university, you worked in the mines, we had many different jobs, we renovated a house, we felt the pressure of being in society and doing the things that you've got to do, like have a stable job, go to university, have a career, get the house, do the things that you've got to do.
Yes.
And then we went, this isn't working for us, let's start taking some risks. And honestly, this may not work for everyone, but it did for us. So we started taking risks, didn't we?
Well, yeah, they were scary choices at the time. So the choices we're referring to is, like, say during COVID, we had a lot of time. We were stuck at a caravan park up in Byron Bay, and we sat there and we're thinking, okay, we need another car. Like, we can't be doing it in the Combi forever. It's hard work. And I started going down the tunnel of you know, expedition trucks. I'm like, God, they're bloody expensive. And I'm thinking, and their whole life, whenever we got to a financial problem where we needed fast cash, what do? You sell stuff. Yeah. We've always just, haven't we? It's like, oh, we need money, sell your car. Oh, we need money, sell this.
I think we've never, you know how some people get scared about decisions? We get scared, but we think that means it's the right thing to do. If we're scared, it probably means that it is the right thing to do. So we just jump at it and we go, all right, let's just see if this works. What's the worst that can happen? We're healthy. We're happy. What is the worst that can happen? We
sold the house, our first house, and we were lucky enough to make some good money on that. Obviously, all houses, anyone that owned a house before COVID hit, has a lot of capital sitting in their home right now. So that's what we did. We cashed in on that, but we didn't just sit on that money and travel around Australia. We straight away moved the majority of that money across to a smaller house that needed more work in the same suburb. So it was kind of like the worst house in the best street sort of scenario that you hear. So we did that, bought that for a lot less. Then we had money left over to buy the truck. So we bought the truck, bought that house, the one that you would have seen us renovating a year or so ago. And then we used the bank's money, a loan, to renovate that house. So you use the bank's money kind of to make money, if that makes sense. So we used that money to renovate the house and then sold that, and then the money was then ours. It sounds weird, doesn't it? It sounds...
This question is really hard for us, and it's so long because
there's so much that so many decisions that went into it.
Yeah, and there's been so many rolling parts.
But that's how we've sort of been able to make the money. But
the question was, what was the average amount to be set up to travel Australia? Was there limits? We don't have an average amount.
Well,
because
think about it. You buy a Combi for 15 grand, and then you set that Combi up, like you don't have to, like for $16,000, $17,000. You could have a car to travel around Australia, probably even $10,000.
Yeah.
I reckon you could have a car to travel around Australia. So there you go, there's 10 grand, and then you just need enough money to travel around week to week, but you might work.
Yeah.
There is so many components that come into it.
There's so many variables. So we don't have a spreadsheet, if that's what you're wondering. If we need money, we make money. This is the first time in our life that we've never had a property. We usually do always like to have a property sitting there on the side. We do like to make smart financial decisions, but we do like to have the flexibility as well. So hopefully that answers a little bit of it. We're probably not the best people to ask, to be honest, because we are so...
We're not financial people. We're not giving anyone financial guidance here, because like everything's just been made up and it works. But as far as on the road too, now like we get our savings up to a certain point doing the whole house thing, but then Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you guys watching these videos keeps our savings at a flat line. So we're not diving into our savings. So videos can bring anywhere in from $600 an episode up to $2,000 an episode, depending on how many people watch it. So you're probably wondering, how do you make money from YouTube? Well, it comes down to the amount of views.
Yes.
So there's a dollar figure for every 1,000 views, and depending on what country and who's watching it, depends on how much dollars you get for those 1,000 views. So you don't make a squillion dollars. We're not making a heap of money from it, but it is just a nice little topper-upper to sort of allow us to do what we do. It definitely couldn't live off it.
No,
that's for sure.
Not for us. YouTube, no, you're not rolling in it from YouTube. That's for
well,
sure.
We're not anyway.
What we love about YouTube is the people we meet, the opportunities it provides, and the memories that we're creating for our family. Like Zuri is always watching back her
like
old videos.
Book.
So
yeah, like a photo album, but full of like a video album.
That's a bit of a tangent, guys. But
anyway, I think that's dollars sort of sorted. I don't know if we answered the question, but there's something.
There you go. Work hard, take risks. There's plenty of work out there. Okay. What type of fitness routine do you guys have?
None. Next.
Okay. You don't want to do that?
No, well, I don't. You do. You do squats. Whenever I take Zuri to the toilet, I come back and you're doing secret squats. And I'm like, when I just start laughing and you start laughing. I think just being active, you're always doing something. We're
very active on the road. A lot of people, we get that question a fair bit. What's your fitness routine? Well, our fitness routine is we live outdoors and we're chasing after 2 kids and we're quite adventurous. So
if it looks like we're working out, trust me, it's purely genetics. That's it.
Oh, stop it. We eat well, we're active.
I eat bad. I eat pies and beer. Like, that's it.
Have you not seen that pig platters and things like that? Anyways, guys, we do want to get a bit more fit.
Yeah, we'll try.
All right, next question. The next question is for Karsten.
Oh dear.
Karsten.
Yes.
That singlet is driving me crazy. Do you want me to buy you a new one?
Well, this is my newer upgraded one. Still filthy, but on its way. Guys, that singlet, it was one of my favourite Olas singlets. So I've worn Olas for ages, and it was my favourite one. And I've worn that since the very first YouTubes that we ever brought out. All those colours and rips and tears are all part of the journey. I know it's weird, it's tacky, it's disgusting, but I love it. And some of you out there would understand that. It's like that. I'm big on history and memories, so that singlet, when I wear it, it's kind of like, yeah, it's weird. Anyway,
that was a weird movement you just did then.
Yeah, don't do that.
Also,
yeah, okay.
Also, I think people are a bit overwhelmed because your nipples are often popping out of the
Oh
singlet,
yeah,
so
I know, that's it.
with
Look
those
guys,
GoPro angles.
if that's what it is, you know. Yeah, there's no reason. I just like ratty stuff, hence why the Combi's all ratty. I just like old stuff that has a story and has, you know, new is boring.
AKA, he's a hoarder.
I'm a hoarder.
I've had to train him, guys.
Next question.
Anyways, okay. Next question. Do you guys carry much of a medical kit? Did you stock it yourself or did you buy it? Well, it's actually a mixture of things.
Yeah.
We've bought a number of medical kits and we have them positioned around the UNCUT. Thankfully, we've never had to really use them other than some tweezers and antiseptics and things like that. But we've also stocked them ourselves as well. So gone to our chemist. My best friend's a doctor, so thanks Sophia, and her partner Ben, so he's an anaesthetist. So we got heaps of advice. So every time we travel, every time we head home to Newcastle, we kind of regroup and relook at all of our supplies.
Yeah.
But we were only just saying the other day, I was saying yesterday actually, I'd really like to do some drills where we say, okay, there's been a snake bite.
Fix that camera up a bit. Yeah.
Where we say, okay, there's been a snake bite. What are we going to do? Like actually talk through the scenarios, because I think when
we're complacent with it, but we have it, but
like,
we don't actually know. Like,
we've got it. But the thing is, I may know where something is, and Caster may know where something is, but both of us need to be on the ball because an emergency can happen to either of us. So that's a reminder to you guys out there. In addition to that, teach your kids. So we do first aid training with Zuri. We teach her how to dial 000 on the phone. I think that's really important as well because they're smart. Kids are smart and they need to know the basics.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got first aid kits down here near Maxine's feet. We've got a snake bite kit, so we know that those bits are there. But then we also carry a lot of medical stuff in the back. So we might not know how to use a lot of those things, but by having it, you never know if a doctor or a nurse or someone's close. So if we've got stitch kits, morphine.
Well, I don't say everything we've got.
Well, yeah, we've got all the stuff that we need for safe. But if we're very, very remote, and there's a spot where we need to video call someone, and it's a life or death situation, we've got a lot of stuff back there. We've got tetanus.
Yes.
All the things that we need, because when you're 500, 600, 700 kilometers from a town, let alone a hospital, you've got to be your own traveling hospital, really. Yeah,
a little fact, my previous life, I worked for the Westpac Rescue Helicopter. So I was marketing comms manager for the whole of northern New South Wales. So I used to report a lot of the media missions out to the community, and I think that was a bit of an eye-opener for me in that role, because there's so many things that happen every day that you think it won't happen to me, but it happens to people every single day. So you've just got to be prepared. Better to be prepared.
Next question. Oh, safety first.
Safety first. Okay, how do you do your washing on the road?
We don't. Next.
Yes, we do. I'm going to quickly say, how do we do our washing on the road? Well, for one, we carry 100 litres of water. So we rely on caravan parks and washing in a bucket if we're desperate for undies and stuff. Karsten and I wear the same clothes over and over, as you can probably tell. And the girls have plenty of spare changes of clothes.
So you want to know my secret?
What?
You wear a pair of board shorts, guys. Wear one pair of board shorts. You wear it through the day, and when you have a shower, if you have a shower or a swim, just make sure you give your board shorts a bit of a wash. By the time you go to bed, they're dry, so you go to sleep in those board shorts, and then you wake up in the board shorts again, and you repeat that process. So you never actually ever take your pants off.
Do not take any cleaning or hygiene advice from this guy.
And wear the same singlet over and over again.
Oh, and don't brush your teeth. Tell them about that. And don't
Next
brush your teeth.
question.
And also maybe use your toenail to floss your teeth.
Genius, by the way. Before toothpicks were around, toenails would have been the toothpick.
Disgusting.
Anyway, Max, we won't dive into that.
I won't make people vomit.
Yes.
So. Okay. This is a good question. Will Newcastle always be your home?
I think home is a very strong word.
Yes.
Home is right here with our family at the moment. Yeah, I get it. Yes,
Base.
it will be, because that's where grandparents are. A lot of our best friends, a lot of history there. That's where, you know, your bloodline is, most of them are in Newcastle. So it'll always be what we would always call
going home.
Going home. Will we live in other places around Australia? Yeah, probably. We're looking to buy up in Queensland and other spots, but ultimately I believe we will always return back to base being Newcastle.
We don't know.
No, you don't know.
I think
Maybe Bali.
Newcastle will always feel like home. The truck is our actual home. It's our home on wheels. But yes, I think we'll always be heading back there and going, yeah, this
is home. It's
is
familiar.
Home. Yeah. But lots of places feel like home for us.
Yeah.
Totally new topic. Yes?
Nice to meet you, Thirsty. She hates it when I do that. Yeah, Bullfed.
I like it. She said I like
Oh,
it.
God. Yeah, right. Cheeky.
So that topic then, or that those questions that we just covered, that was like general life questions. Like I said, I've grouped them. So now we're moving into.
How long did that go for? That's 25 minutes of general life. Wow.
You can cut it down. No, but that was a long one.
That was long. Now let's get into some short, snappy ones.
Okay. You can cut that down.
No, we're going long run.
Anyways, guys.
Well, Lizard, don't run.
Now we are heading into mechanics.
Mechanics, ooh.
Yes.
Exciting.
Okay. Let's make this snappy. Why the Oka and not a caravan and a four-wheel drive?
Well.
Good question.
So really, I think the easiest way to say this is that to take a four-wheel drive and a caravan over to another country, very hard, and no one really does it. It's always expedition truck style things. So that was a big one.
No, but also the tracks in Australia, so...
Yeah, like we love going remote places. We like seeing a dirt track and going, oh, I wonder what's down there. I don't want to be limited by what I'm towing. So yeah, we loved being in the Combi because we're just a contained unit.
That's right.
We know it works well for our traveling style. So that's why we went down the sort of expedition-y truck style of things. It all depends on what you require to travel and what makes you comfortable.
But how about you talk about, there was a number of boxes that our expedition truck had to, and our setup had to tick. So you go through those, because purchasing the Oka was a massive decision for our family.
Oh mate, we looked at, don't worry, we looked at every single truck on the market. So, that's no surprise to you, we go silly places sometimes, and I do silly things. So, one box that it had to tick is that it had to be a very capable four-wheel drive. Like, it needed to be able to perform like a proper four-wheel drive does. I didn't want it just to have a four-wheel drive I didn't want it just to be four-wheel drive. I needed it to be a good four-wheel drive. And I know Okas have been renowned for go anywhere, do anything. You won't get them bogged, which I will. But you know, that's what I wanted. I wanted a hardcore four-wheel drive truck. The second box is I didn't want the truck to be too wide, and that's what ruled out Unimogs. Unimogs are about 200mm wider than an Oka, which is fine if you're sort of doing, you know, your outback dirt highways and sand driving and things like that. But the Oka has the same wheel track as a Land Cruiser, and in Australia and overseas, most of the four-wheel drive tracks have been carved out by Land Cruisers. So I needed something that could where the wheel track sat inside the track line, so I didn't get sidewall punctures and we didn't get pinched out on certain things. So that was a big one. Second was I wanted to be able to get from the front to the back. So
Yes.
see how our living area is right there behind us. I didn't want to have to hop out of the truck to hop into a living quarters in the back. Now the reason for that is for safety.
Well, I was just going to say, I did feel quite nervous sometimes in the Combi. People used to ask.
Yeah.
Because our setup was, yes, it was small and compact, but like you couldn't just crawl straight through and you couldn't just pack up.
We could jump into the front if we wanted.
But the setup pack up was nothing like this.
Yeah. So let's, you know, for example, we're in Africa. Imagine like shit hits the fan. We've got to get out of there quick. You're not going out of your truck saying, hey, can you just wait? Don't hurt me at the moment. I'm just going to unlock my door and jump in and turn on my car. That ain't happening, is it? So it's just nice to know that we can jump in the front, drive off with the pop top up, whatever hanging out, but it's more of a safety thing. So that was that was a massive one as well. But they were like the three main boxes that it had to tick.
Yeah, the length, the width.
Power, economy, like it all comes into it. But
the bodywork as well, like just
price tag.
Structurally, the fact it's Australian made, that was a massive thing
there's
for
European
us.
trucks that would have been great to have, but you're looking at bloody $1 million plus, and we ain't got that. So yeah, it just sort of ticked all our boxes for what we needed, and so far it's doing everything we want it to do.
But not gonna lie guys, massive risk, like making that decision, like anything in life, like massive price tag, we know that.
Do you know we laid down that deposit and Max hadn't seen one in person ever. She hadn't touched an Ocker, sat in one, or even seen one in real life, and she agreed to buy one.
How long did I say no for?
Oh, ages.
No, I was like, no, not happening.
She said no. And then we're out around Inaminka, so that's out sort of like towards the Simpson Desert. It was 40 something degrees in that Combi. She looked at me and she said, pay that bloody invoice. So that's all it took. Plant the seed, put it under pressure, you'll get what you want, guys.
Just got to get the right information through to your partner,
you
know?
Next question.
Next question. All right, the things you'd change in the Ocker after driving it now. Keep this a bit snappy.
I'm going to do a video on that when we get home, so we won't touch on that right now.
Oh, you can say a few of the things.
No, it takes away from the video. Okay. So there's a lot of little bits and pieces and some big things that I will change when I get home in about a couple of days. But yeah, I'll run you through all that and I'll show you the hopeful solutions to fix those problems.
And what we will say is nothing that we've ever travelled in has been 100%. We're always adapting, you're always changing, you're always doing that. So we are very happy with what we've got.
Yeah.
Why is the Ocker breaking down?
Why is it breaking down? Well, let's put it this way. Any brand new car you have, I've currently got 22,000 kilometers on it. So you got to think that this isn't just a couple of thousand kilometers on this truck. I've got 22,000 kilometers of hard driving on dirt roads. So I've been flogging this thing on some of the hardest corrugations around the country over the last couple of weeks. You've seen some of it, you haven't seen some of it. But this is the idea. This has been, this year and this trip alone hasn't been about chilling out and relaxing. It's been about testing out this entire setup, this truck, pushing it hard so we know what we change, what we don't change. Make sure things break whilst it's in warranty instead of out of warranty. So all of these little things that have gone wrong, we're 100% expected. You've also got to remember, this is number 3 of the brand new Ockers. So we're pretty much purchased number 3 prototype. So this truck is slightly different to the last 2 that were built. And the next 2 that are coming after this are slightly different as well. Right. And we've been working with Ocker to improve certain things, because Ocker can't build a truck, drive it for two years around the country doing all the hard stuff. They can only base all of their information on the older ones that were out there. So it's every time there's a slight issue or a problem, the truck is improved. So every Ocker after this will be better than ours, but every time we take it back to Ocker, they upgrade it and change it to improve it every time.
And
so it might look like that things are breaking and it's just, oh no, but it's honestly like we are helping and working with Ocker to improve this truck.
And we are really pushing this truck to its absolute limits, and like Carsten said, that was the plan, because obviously Australia, then next steps is overseas, which we'll cover in another question.
Yeah. So yeah, it breaks, but all things break. I can guarantee any car you gave me, I would have broken.
Okay, the Combi.
Yes.
Did you get the air tank replaced? Just quickly.
The air tank, yes. So we had the air tank replaced when we dropped it off at Ocker HQ. They put a new system in, new air tank. They've changed up, because of that issue, they've changed the design a little bit. So they've redone the way that the pipes work, how the tanks are all done because of that issue. So yeah, that's a perfect example. We broke it, they came up with a new solution, they've replaced and fixed it. And now every truck will be the same as what ours is because of that, what we've discovered.
Well said. All right. What is the suspension on a rig like that?
The suspension?
Yes.
I can't even pretend to know much about this truck. A Combi, I can tell you everything about a Combi. But as far as this, all I know is that it's got leaf springs front and rear. It's got 11 in the front, and now it has 15 in the rear. When we were up in Queensland, we stopped off at a place called Gympie, and in Gympie there's a place called Springworks. Those guys rebuilt the suspension in the back of this truck. You're probably thinking, oh, why would you have it rebuilt? It's a brand new truck, rah, rah, rah. Well, the springs that were in the rear of this truck was called it's like a 2-stage spring pack. So that means your first stage is what supports the truck when it has no weight and load on it. The second stage is what supports the truck, or helps, they're called helper bars. They help the suspension when completely under load, when you've got a lot of weight. So the problem with our truck is that we're not a ute, and we're not a tour bus. So our load doesn't go on and doesn't go off, doesn't go on and doesn't go off. We've always got load on this truck. So we had our springs rebuilt by Springworks there at Gympie. I'm going to show on the screen now the process, because these guys were absolute wizards. We were in and out in 2 days, and they remade, they put into a kiln, they melted steel. I don't even know how to explain what they did, but they were able to get it back up, pepped back up, trimmed out. So that means like the truck is now level, and those springs can take a lot more weight than what the original ones can, because of the way that these guys have designed it. And again, Ocker have seen the design of what we've done, and they will probably carry that through with every other heavy truck they do. So
not
again,
to mention,
you're welcome.
I just want to say they were such a beautiful family as well. Honestly, like 3 generations or whatever it was. Beautiful, beautiful family, and we cannot thank them enough.
So if you're in Queensland, even in New South Wales, and you've got rear springs, leaf springs in the back of your ute, truck, van, Sprinter, whatever it is, and you want to get that ass up a bit more, those guys can get it done. They are absolute wizards.
All right, next, Carsten.
Yeah?
Can you do an in-depth of starting the Ocker with a screwdriver? Maybe we can just show this footage.
No, it's pretty simple. I'll put an image on the screen. So some people's starter motors are inside their gearbox, so that means it's not going to work for you because you're not going to get to it. Some people's starter motors are tucked in really hard places to get to, so this is probably a lot harder for you to do. But on the Ocker and a lot of other cars and the Combi, if you can see your starter motor, this will most likely work for you. So the way a starter motor works, you turn the key on your ignition, it sends power down to the starter. It's a small cable. That cable connects within the solenoid, says, hey, throw out bearing and crank this engine. So it's like a signal wire which tells it to start, do its thing. And when you take, obviously when there's no more power going through that, so when you sort of turn your key back a bit, it pulls it back and stops. So what you've got to think is, if I turn my ignition on, that's putting power through the engine. And then what you do is you want, okay, how the hell do I explain this? So on your starter motor, there's the main red wire. Most of the time it's red, might be black, but it's the main power one that goes to your starter. What you want to do is you want to put a screwdriver between the big power cable and that little cable that's coming from your ignition. So you just, if you short those two out, it tricks your starter into thinking that you're turning your key. So that's the whole idea. Normally, if your solenoid is a little bit hot and not responding, sometimes it might be a voltage drop when you turn your key. There's a number of reasons why your starter won't start sometimes, but generally by shorting out those two wires on the picture that I'm showing you right there, most of the time it will work. If not, hit the bloody thing with a hammer.
I love how you said this is so simple.
I know, it's so simple, but when you have to use the words, when you're going to use words, it's pretty hard.
So pretty much once you've nailed it, it'll be very quick for you to...
Yeah. If you've got, it's a good thing for you to know.
For you to know, there you go guys, good thing for you to know.
Yeah, just do it.
And let us know once you've achieved it.
Look, if what I just described meant nothing to you and was like, didn't make sense, just Google it. Hot starting or starting a starter motor with a screwdriver. If you type that in, I'm sure it'll come up somewhere.
Google has answers for everything.
Next question.
Okay, is the Oka starting to give you PTSD from the Combi days?
Yes.
It's been giving us flashbacks of things going wrong in the Combi, that's for sure.
I think like with anything, when things go wrong, again, my brain hyper focuses on those problems, and I don't rest until I've solved that issue. It's a blessing and it's a curse.
Yes.
So the answer is yes, but hey, this happens with anything. If I'm building a house and there's a problem with the house or something, again, I go straight into the same problem solving stress that I normally do. But yes.
I'm more of like, I'm the optimistic, positive person that tries to keep it quite light, and often Carsten, he keeps everything in his head and he won't talk, so he becomes often quite silent and he's like processing it in his head. So
I problem solve in silence, staring at something, but I get that.
But yeah, I'm often reminding the whole family that, come on now, this is not the Combi. Things are always going to go wrong in life.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you pay for something, things will always go wrong. You could pay $2 million for a truck, things will still go wrong.
That's right. All right, this is a good question. What are our plans for the Combi now? Well, the Combi is currently in storage at a mate's house.
Yes, thank you, James.
But Combi's it's not fully in retirement. We've got some plans for the Combi, don't we?
Yeah, the Combi, it's still running, still driving, still registered. Like, it's still up and going. James was driving it around the other day.
They don't know who James is, so...
James, my mate, James. The keeper of the Combi.
The keeper of the Combi.
The keeper of the Combi. Yeah, so the big plans are to give the Combi a bit of love. I'm going to strip a lot of weight out of it, get it a lot lighter. We've got the ideas to... sorry, just overtaking a truck here. Yeah, we've got the ideas to do some like sort of fun stuff in the future with the Combi. So to do that, I want to lighten it up. I want to get it all ready for something like Cape York. It will come back. But on that note, I did buy another Volkswagen as well that I built 10 years ago. So the Combi, not the Combi, but the Volkswagen I bought a week ago. I haven't seen that for 10 years. And
so I'm excited.
I'm really excited. Yeah. So who knows, maybe the Combi will stay in the shed for a little bit longer, and maybe I'll get this other Volkswagen out to do some fun stuff. Still 2-wheel drive and all the shebang, but you'll love this one. We'll film a video of going to pick this thing up because I'm bloody excited. But yeah, the Combi is not gone. No. It's not being sold. it's still running, still registered, and it's still part of the family, and it'll do some more adventures in the end.
That's right. All right. I was only just going to say about the Combi. It's just, it was different when it was our home and everything inside. Like, we pushed it to its limits, but it's different now that we've got the two vehicles, because now I can drive the Oka and Karsten can drive the Combi, so we can push the Combi even harder than we did before. So
yeah, let's get it. Let's jump it. Next.
All right. Do we want to keep going? We need to do these quicker. Things you change about the Oka, we're not doing that.
That's fine.
We've already done that.
We're at 45 minutes, which isn't bad. As long as we can keep it under an hour, that's alright.
Well, things you've changed, we've already done that.
Yeah.
I'm just doing,
Oh, Max.
is it a hassle of drop? No, because you're going to cut it.
Oh, I didn't want to.
What?
I didn't want to cut this. I want to just have this.
All right.
This is how it works, guys. Max talks to herself, and I hurry her up, then I get in trouble for hurrying her up normally.
All right. Well, we've still got a lot of questions to go, guys.
Right, what do we got? Let's go.
I was just going through. Is it a hassle lifting and dropping the bed to use the dining area? Well, you can see behind us here. Obviously, pop tops down. It's definitely not a hassle. Our beds are already made.
One arm lift, one arm pull. It's not hard. You lift it, you drop it.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot easier. Like that's probably one of the best features of this entire truck. I'm stoked with it.
Yeah, I love it.
Next.
How's the composting toilet going? It is going excellent.
It's going great until like Zuri just drops massive nuggets in it, and sometimes wheeze in it. Like it's the kids are breaking it. but what happens is, like, I think there was just too much moisture in there. The cog thing that turns, there's a plastic cog at the bottom. It's stripped out, so we had that replaced. But it's stripped out so much that, anyway, Zuri's broken it. Other than that, it's good.
But what we love about it is we've been able to stay at places that in the past we haven't been able to stay at, like where you have to be fully self-contained. So it just means we're having a different experience, which is great. And obviously for those emergency situations for the kids.
But yeah, I'll be sending an email to Ogo on my suggestions for improvements.
Yes.
Put it that way.
There we go. All right. What litre per 100?
Hey?
Someone just wrote what litre per 100. I'm thinking like
Let
diesel.
me look down right now.
And how much does, let's combine that, and how much diesel does the Oka hold?
Okay, well, the Oka holds 300 litres of diesel. So we've got 180 litres on one side and 120 on the other. So I'm looking down now, and this is my average. My average litre per 100 over the last 1,000 kilometres, or since I last filled up, is 20 litres. 20 litres of diesel for every 100 kilometres. So you've got to remember, this is sitting at 100 kilometres an hour. And yesterday it was a lot of hills. We came from Broken Hill, so it was like up, down, and it was 47 degrees all day.
Disgusting.
So the truck worked bloody hard yesterday, and it's still at 20.2. If we're sitting on a dirt road at 80 kilometres an hour, that comes down to about 14, 15, 16 kilometres per hour. So obviously the slower you're going, the more economy. I was pretty happy because, you know, we're sitting at 7 tonne, and we're shaped like a brick or a loaf of bread. And yeah, 20 litres to the 100 is pretty good. Like, that's better than some people towing caravans. So,
that's right.
Yeah,
but I think the beauty of the Oka, so with the Combi, we had to obviously carry jerry cans around with us. We are so excited about the amount of fuel that we can carry, because there's all these tracks and destinations that we can hit. We can stay for longer, so it just kind of opens
There's nothing better, guys, than just looking down and going, oh yeah, just keep going. Just keep going.
Totally.
Oh, we're at a fill, flick it over. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm so used to filling that Combi, we're filling that prick up with bloody...
It was stressful, really stressful.
Fuel was like, that was
and we missed out on so much.
Yeah, like we couldn't do heaps of stuff.
Yeah, so next year we've got heaps of exciting things that we can do, which is good.
Next.
All right, is the Oka shower working out well? Well, the inside one is like almost done, but we've never used it.
Yeah, so I think we don't know. So the inside shower we've never used, because it hasn't really been, we haven't been in a position where we've had to use it. We use the outside one.
The inside, like I said to Karsten, I really wanted that because of our world travel that we have planned, which we'll touch on shortly. But The outside one has been great, but in saying that, we only carry 100 litres of water, and I had agreed on us having double that.
Yeah, GVM said no.
But the GVM said no. So anyways, we have to be really careful, and we don't use the shower that often. That sounds really bad, but
yeah, but see, that is one of the things I will be changing, but again, we're doing a video on that later, which we'll touch on that. But yeah, the shower works, we just don't use the inside one that much.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right. Aussie destinations. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
We're just
Let's
coming
go.
into another town right now. Slowing down.
Yeah, we're in Dunedoo.
Dunedoo. Macca's. Zuri said Macca's.
No, Macca's here, mate.
Macca's.
No, Macca's in Dunedoo.
All right, next question. Would you guys be doing the Canning Stock route one day? Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes.
Canning Stock route is definitely on the cards.
There's so many different destinations that we're going to be hitting.
We've just
and
got to work
routes.
out how we do it. It's either do we come up from the bottom or come down from the top. And that's all based on where you are. Like it's a hard one to fit in, because if you do it, you miss the west coast. So it's like, we've really got to make it work. But yes, the answer is yes, we will do the Canning Stock route. Next.
The end. How long do you guys stay in the one place off grid? And do you enjoy staying that long? Guys, we are terrible at staying in a place for a long period of time. We get bored.
You've probably noticed from the videos.
We move very quickly. We love driving. We love sitting in the car. We love the girls being strapped in. We have the music blaring. It's our time to chat.
It's nice.
But it is a goal of ours to actually slow down, especially next year. If we find a spot that we're loving, we are fully self-contained. We can go off grid. We carry enough food, water, etc. So
next year will be different. Next year we've got some fun shit organised or plans for next year, and I think that will entail some longer stays.
That's right. But thinking about it, the longest that we've ever stayed in a place was Kununurra, because
that was forced.
No, but I'm just saying, we actually, it's funny, sometimes if you're forced to do something, it shows you, or it gives you the opportunity to really experience a place. And we fell in love with Kununurra and the Kimberley in particular, but Buttons Crossing wasn't forced, and we stayed there for a very long time. That was amazing, that place.
Yeah, so when you are forced to stay somewhere,
Free
you get to
camping
meet the community and immerse yourself in with the community, and I think that's what actually makes you fall in love with a place.
Yes.
When you stop at places for a short amount of time, you only see it at face value, which is generally sometimes not a good thing. But if you stay around for a bit longer is when you get a taste of what the place is all about, and that's when you fall in love. But again, we touch on how precious time is.
Yeah.
And you could literally spend 5-10 years traveling Australia doing one lap if you would have wanted to experience each town.
That's right.
But you haven't got that time. You've got so much to see, and we've got so many tracks to drive and so many bog holes to drive into.
And I think I really want to say as well, like when everyone says, are you doing the lap? No, we're not doing the lap. I take my hat off. If you're doing the lap, good on you. We are not bucket list people where we have to tick all these things off. If the weather's good, we're staying. If an opportunity arises, we're going.
Just drive.
We drive, we weave in and out. We take each day as it comes. That's how we travel. I know that doesn't work for everyone. And I also know some people only have a really short amount of time. So they do need to plan their route, and they do need to tick off those bucket lists, and they do need to book those destinations. But like, to be honest, we haven't done much of south of the west coast because it's always bloody windy. And
well, when we have a boat, I don't think we've even touched on that yet,
yes,
but we will have a boat next year. When we have that boat, there will be a lot more coastal adventures, let's put it that way.
Yeah. Next, are you coming to Tassie? Yes.
We will at some point, but again, it comes down to the right time of year. It's hot right now, but it's Christmas.
Timing, that's it, guys. Like,
and it's packed. It's impossible to get on the ferry right now.
That's right.
It's part of, we don't plan far enough in the future to book a ticket. We're very spontaneous, which means that the ferry is always booked out. Short answer, yes, we will get to Tasmania.
Don't know when.
Don't know when.
How have you found the tracks so far?
Tracks.
Well, That was the question. And you know what we've done well, the tracks, just tracks that you've been doing in the Oka.
The tracks.
Well, the tracks, we've done a number of fun tracks that you guys haven't seen yet.
You haven't seen it.
You'll
There's
probably
some sick videos coming up, guys. I'm so pumped.
It's just laptop's currently broken.
Yeah,
so
I've broken the laptop. You're probably wondering, oh, why aren't there all the videos coming up? Where are the videos? You're taking so long. Laptop's broken, means no videos can be made.
Soz about that, guys, but we're really excited. It was probably in the last 2 weeks we've really felt like we've gotten back into our groove, and we're doing the fun stuff, and we're doing what we love to do.
In answer to that question, the tracks have been good.
Yeah.
The Oka has nailed it. Kind of feels like I'm driving a Dakar truck. Like I'm banging down these roads at 80, 90 k's an hour, and the truck's going. We
were losing our shit, weren't we? We were like, yeah.
Like, this is so good. I'm like, oh, look, a mud hole. Let's hit it fast. Oh. It is so fun, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been handling the tracks, and the tracks have been fun. And the weather out there was amazing up until this week, where now everything's like
40 plus.
45 plus.
Thank God for the Oka and the aircon.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Next, we are, yes, babe?
We can do that.
We're doing Elf on the Shelf at the moment.
Yeah, buddy.
Cookie and cupcake.
Yeah, good.
Yes. I actually have a question for Zuri. This was a really good
Take your headphones off, bud.
Really good opportunity.
Mum's got a question for you.
So your mates on YouTube have a question for you, and it is, Zuri, what is your favourite thing about travelling?
Making new friends.
Making new friends? Say it a bit louder. Oh.
Whenever we ask Zuri a question, Siri answers it on the phone.
Meeting new friends.
Really? And what else, mate?
I want to hear the Siri thing.
What else? What else do you like about travelling? Do you like all the places we go?
Yeah.
What about getting dirty?
Yeah.
All the swimming spots?
Yeah.
What else?
Guys, we have to go.
Oh.
Thanks, Zoo.
Thanks, Zuri. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
We'll stop that roadworks. We've been here for a while, and thanks, Zuri.
Thanks, Zuri. She's a legend. 5 years old. Honestly, that kid.
Yeah, she's
Love that girl.
clever.
All right. Now we're into, it's like the kids section. I've added this as a kids section. Raising adventure kids, our experience. Well, Zuri started traveling when she was a baby. Started in the Combi.
Yeah.
And she's been traveling for most of her life, but the biggest thing is kids are so adaptable.
Well, that's it. I think we hear a lot of like, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
We went on a holiday up the coast, and our little one just screamed the whole way. Hey, that's normal.
We've been there.
She used to do it. Remember,
Yes.
it was like for the first week.
That's right.
It was just, she didn't like it, but now look at that.
She's just sitting there. But I think
Chill. It's because they adapt. They get
That's
used
right.
to it. It's routine. It's just.
But from our experience, obviously Zuri, she spent most of her life travelling.
Yeah.
She spent time in the outback, but the big trip for us was that one that we did up to Cape York, and just seeing her, you know, get dirty and be amongst nature and have fun and see how much she experienced and how much we experienced together as a family every single day.
Yeah.
That was a huge eye-opener for us.
Well, that's it. She's got a personality similar to mine. She's, I believe, ADHD as well. And the things with our minds is you've got to keep busy, or you've got to be stimulated all the time.
Yeah.
And that's where being on the road's great for her. We're not just plonking her into a classroom or to say, hey, sit down, do this.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't work for my brain or hers. It needs to be hands-on, it needs to be active, and I think that's why travelling is going to work really well for both of our girls. Hey, it might not be forever, and they are going to get tastes of the schooling system as well.
Hang on, we've got more questions coming. We've got more questions coming.
So kids adapt, and
That's right. Honestly,
we believe our kids are their best form when out on the road.
I think all kids are.
Yeah.
Honestly, just let kids be outdoors, get dirty.
You put them in a room, that's like a wild dog in a box. Honestly, get them out of those boxes.
Get them out, guys. How often do you rely on screen time? Well, as you can see right now, Zuri is on her iPad. We spend most of our life outdoors, but yes, when we are traveling in the truck, we let her have screen time. But we are very particular about what she watches. She's got reading eggs, she's got activities on there. She watches ABC Kids. There's all different things that she can do on that, and then we limit it as well. So we'll say, all right, Zuri, you've got that for the next 10 minutes, or all right, Mum and Dad are just about to do some filming. You can do some activities on your iPad. So it's really important for us to have the balance, and they do lots of different activities whilst we're traveling as well.
Yeah. I loved computer games when I was little, by the way. I used to sit in front of that computer for 10 hours at a time playing.
And you got to remember, this is the world we live in. She's gaining skills right now.
Yeah, like we can't shut them off from technology, because technology is going to rule the world, and if you don't know how to do it, you're just going to be a beetroot farmer or something.
But if you're a parent, you do know that too much screen time equals crazy kids.
Yeah.
So
Fine line.
Okay. Has Zena settled into travel life like Zoo?
Yes.
Anything you've done differently this time? Nothing we've done differently. Literally just go with the flow, they adapt, and take each day as it comes. Because, for example, lately Zena's been teething, so you know there's been a few grumbly moments, but whether you say this often too, whether you're doing it in a house or you're doing it in the truck, it doesn't matter where you're doing it.
Kids are kids.
Kids are kids.
Kids will teeth, kids will shit their pants, kids will get annoyed, kids will do what they do, whether it be at home or while you're traveling. So you might as well pick where they have their tantrums. That's right. Where they are their kids. And
How do you keep the kids entertained whilst on the road? Do you take small toys? Well, you can see these Dometic bags right here.
That's all they've got.
That is all Zena has, and then Zuri has a slightly bigger bag just here, and in those we have an array of books, balls, colouring in, random things that we pick up on the road. We change it out because obviously kids get bored. We pick up stuff from op shops.
Pretty sure Zuri's got like 2 kilos of rocks in there. She collects rocks. It's just full of rocks.
Yeah. So I mean, like at home, if you guys are sitting there at home right now, if you have a toy box, they never play with it. They play with it for the first day, and then they get bored, or if other kids come around, they'll play with it. So you don't need much. The kids are actually happiest if you give them a stick and some rocks and let them get dirty outside.
Yeah.
Just give them a bucket and a shovel. Has Zena started walking?
Has she ever?
Has she ever? She actually started walking properly in Thailand, but now she's like gangbusters.
Yeah, she's a good little walker. She's loving it.
It's so funny. We reckon she looks like a little old woman. I think all little kids do, but you know that
she walks and looks like my grandma. It's so good. But she's walking, and she's grown up quick.
Yeah.
And we're excited to head home because we haven't seen family for 4.5 months or something, and a lot has changed with both of the girls. So I'm excited for my dad, my mum, your dad and mum, and family to see how the girls have progressed and the little legends that they've turned into.
Well, one thing I have noticed is second kid, they do everything so much quicker because they just want to be like their older siblings. So that's been funny to watch. Like she wants to feed herself and she wants to do everything herself. It's very cute. Next question, is Zuri enjoying her vagabond life again? That's a really good question because
we'll answer this for her.
We spent 12 months doing a renovation whilst I was pregnant and having obviously Zena. She did 12 months in a daycare with stability, so it did take a while for her to adapt to life on the road again, and I feel like we're only just now we say it takes adults and kids about 4 months.
Yeah.
I'd say now she's fully back into the vagabond life, as you say, but
yeah, I think when we got back from traveling last time and put her into daycare, she was probably the most outgoing kid at the daycare.
Yes, they were like, all she wants to do is chat to the adults.
Yeah, like she was forming better relationships with the teachers than the kids, and I think it's because the kids wouldn't sit and have a conversation to her or answer the big questions that she asked.
Yeah.
Which was good and bad. Like they've got to know how to associate with kids and all those sorts of things.
That's right.
But then once we left to go on this trip, we noticed that she wasn't, it's like a bit of that confidence had disappeared.
It'd been squashed a little because...
I think,
don't get me wrong, I love you know, kids experiencing all different ways of life, but some of the kids that she was mingling with definitely, like, they're, you know, they've got characteristics like their parents, and so there was a few things like, oh, you know, that doesn't look nice, or I don't like that about you, or whatever. Whereas when you're on the road, it's instant connection, instant fun.
Travel kids are just a different breed, honestly.
Travel kids don't care about what you're wearing or where you come from or what you're doing. That's literally like, do you want to play?
They say, hey, do you want to play? Yes. And within 2 minutes, they're holding hands.
Yes.
And they're off gallivanting around. There's no shy. If you're a shy travel kid, you're going to struggle.
It's rare. Yeah, you can kind of, we often meet other families who have maybe just stopped traveling on the road. You can pick them from a mile away because the kids, the way they interact, the way they communicate, the way they play. But we're also, I think we're realistic, and we want our kids to experience all different ways of life.
Yeah.
And they need to experience what it's like to be like in a city and what it's like to be like in the one place, and to form those connections over a long period of time as well.
I think parenting, this is my opinion, there's a fine line. Like, sure, you got to protect your kids, right? That's the thing. Like, but I think you've got to set them up for success. You've got to set them up for being prepared for what life throws at them. And
that's right.
Life isn't the same all the time. You've got to make them adaptive. You've got to make them be able to problem solve, you know, be able to jump onto the back foot and come up with a solution fast, because I believe that's what you need to go, like, to succeed.
But as well, we are at this point now after all of our experiences, you know, like I went to public school, Carsten ended up going to a private school. We've had, you know, hard times, good times. I've experienced the corporate world. We've been able to have a taste of everything to get to this point, which we love. We want our kids
to have the same.
To have the same, and
have
that
a taste of everything. Make up your mind. Yeah.
Education.
Yep.
We get this a lot. I reckon this is, I've kind of kept, we're nearly at the end, guys. We get this a lot because Zuri is starting school next year. So this question was, would love to hear about your plans for education, homeschooling in the future. Well, the future is 2025, next year.
Yep.
Yes, we're homeschooling, but we've already decided that we want the kids to experience all different types of schooling. So if there's opportunities for us to stop, the kids to do a term, or if we stop to do another renovation or whatever that may be, or if we're overseas, we want to give the kids an opportunity to experience all different types of education.
Yes. Yep.
All right, this is our final topic, which I've kept to the end, so hopefully you're still here with us, guys. Thank you. I know this has been a long one. World travel.
Probably heard me.
Hang on, should I ask the question first?
Oh, there's a question.
Yes,
go,
these are all questions.
All right, go.
When will you take the Oka overseas?
Oh, well, in previous answers on this, we've said how we don't plan too much, but we had to sit down and work out a rough plan so then we could know what direction we're traveling around Australia next year, but then also when are we going to ship this thing over?
Well, we were having a bit of like a, what the hell are we doing in our life over the next couple of years? Like, what are our goals? What are our objectives? Because we actually do have some big goals that we want to conquer over the next few years. So we actually had to write them down date by date, point by point. And if you've been following us for a while, you know that we need to say something out loud for it to happen. And so
that's true.
We are saying it for the first time here that we are predicting and we're aiming for us to be overseas. Well,
the truck will be on a boat.
2026.
Sometime then.
Sometime in 2026.
Maybe the middle, maybe the end. We don't know yet.
We said around the cooler months, so it would be like April, May, maybe. Let's just say 2026. Okay.
Where we're going, we haven't 100% cemented it.
There is more. There is another question.
All right.
I know.
God, well, I didn't know.
This is the question. This is actually our last question.
Okay, go.
Where is the first country you plan to take your Oka?
Like I said, we don't know.
I know.
We have rough ideas, and some of you might be able to, in the comments down below, throw some suggestions or reasons why we should go to said different continents.
We have option stress.
So we've got option stress here. It's like, I've always wanted to sort of go and do America, because it'd be cool to like start up the top, end at the bottom. You know, and in Australia, we grow up watching all the American films at the diner. I want to go have a burger at the diner and some hotcakes and all that stuff. I think it'd be so cool.
I
And
don't
some
feel as
ribs.
excited. I'm excited about Texas, but no, I want to.
I want to go gator hunting.
I love the idea of culture. So my two ones that I'm tossing up is Asia, because I love the culture, the Asian culture, the diversity, the food. We just always have an amazing time in Asia, and it's a place that not a lot of people do that we've seen in a truck. And then the other is Europe, because you can drive short distances and be in different countries.
And the thing about Europe too then means that we can go down through Spain, Portugal, jump over to Morocco, and then do Africa. So you kind of get a double dip there. Driving then from Europe to Asia, bit sketchy. We've been watching someone, One Life Trucker on Instagram. He's an absolute legend from us that I've been chatting to him. They've done it, so we've seen it.
Kidless, by the way.
Kidless. But he has dogs. But we've seen those sort of sketchy moments going through some of those countries. Is that what we want to do with kids? Probably not. Will we? Probably yes, we don't know. But there's, I think Asia would be fun, like you said, because we could ship it, say, over to Thailand or wherever and start going and driving through all the Asia, but I don't know.
I think we're going to do a lot of research.
Yeah.
What I love about, like I said, Asia is just that, I do think we would be embraced and welcomed there, and the kids would really enjoy it.
Imagine parking up on just some of these beaches and all these places, and I know it would be amazing. Plus, I believe it'd be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Europe is like...
Europe's bloody expensive.
And honestly, we have a bit of a YOLO approach, you know, to life. You know, let's just experience it all. So I feel like Europe is quite dangerous. We would probably spend way too much money.
Yeah.
But watch this space. Watch this space.
When we know, you'll know. And you're probably wondering, God, how much will it cost to get that? God, that's generally the first question we get once we say we're looking at going overseas.
Yes.
God, how much does it cost to send a truck like that overseas? Don't know. Don't know.
We don't know.
I'm thinking anywhere from $8,000 to $15,000, maybe one way. So maybe that's $16,000 to $30,000 to ship it, say, to the UK and back. Is what I'm sort of thinking. But you got to think that's your transport and your accommodation for potentially 12 months to 2 years.
Yes. And also we don't live in a way that money controls us. So time controls us.
Time is the biggest.
We know we're very fortunate. We've worked very hard to be in the position that we're in now. And I know a lot of people are setting themselves up for the future. We do a little bit of that, but we're very much like, guys, the time is now. So we can make more money later. Yeah. But we can't get this time back.
If everything sort of all shit hits the fan and we lose all our money, let's call that worst case scenario. That's still not that bad of a scenario, is it? Like, you've still got a truck, you've still got family, you've still got four legs, one arm.
Oh, stop.
Sorry. Two legs, two arms. You can still go out and make money and do stuff. So yeah, I think that's that.
That's that. How do we want to finish this? I don't even know. Do we want to talk about quickly plans for next year, or we just say see you later, alligator?
I think we say see you later, alligator.
Thank you, honestly, but I know we've been
MIA a lot lately, and apologies for that. I know that our videos aren't coming up as regular as you guys want them, but hopefully a bit of info of why the last 12 months has been up, down, left and right, both with projects but also mental health and all those things. But next year we're on the trajectory of having an absolute cracker.
Plenty of plans.
But on the backside of this Q&A, I've got some questions for you guys.
What?
Which maybe you can try. I know, that's a pretty good idea, isn't it? It's like a Q&A reversed. I
love that I've asked all the questions and now you're throwing in something that I didn't know. I love this.
So, you know, coming into 2025, what do you want to see more of?
Yes.
in our content? And equally, what do you want to see less of?
Oh, are we going to do a neck? Let's not do a neck.
Well, I think it's like, you know, it's good to see. You can't just sort of say, what do you want to see more of? Because sometimes,
Fair enough.
you know, do you want to see less of me talking shit? Maybe. I can understand that. It can be a bit over, it can be a bit boring. But, you know, so those sorts of things. Also, would you like to see us bring out some sort of merchandise where it's on the cards? We're thinking about it. We're like, oh, I don't know, like who would want to wear things that we make? I don't know, it seems weird.
Yeah, but we've been tossing it up for a very long time.
Tossing it up, but
yeah.
you know, we've got everything there ready to roll, and we're thinking, you know, do we do that? Is that something you guys would like us to do? Also, yeah, just answer those. That'd be great.
So many questions.
Just three.
Just so many questions. Oh, we might just throw one more into the mix, you know. Tell us what you guys want to achieve next year. Is there an adventure?
Oh, that is probably the best one at all, and that's what we'll finish on.
Put it out into the universe, guys. You got to say it. Say it out loud. Type it. Put it in the comments. We want to read it. What do you guys want to do next year? So for 2025, that's what we're coming up to.
What are you? And if you write it down, guys, it means you have to do it. Otherwise, it makes you a shit talker. So you can't be a shit talker. Write it down. We'll know, which means you've got to do it. And
yes.
Who knows? We might even send you a message halfway through the year and say, hey, did you do that? Because we'll be riding your ass. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Hope that worked.
I don't even know how long this is, but thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah. Remember, like, subscribe, means a lot. And yeah, the next couple of vids over the next couple of weekends are going to be absolute crackers.
And if you're ever wondering what we're up to, just check us out on socials.
Alright, love you, see you, bye.